Hello students, today we will be continuing from the previous video where we completed in the where we ended in the previous video. From there we will be starting. So page number 24 it was, and it was the second last paragraph. Means purple haze I already explained you that in his lantern there was not a drop of oil, and her mother said that let us uh, enjoy the surprise Diwali. That was a type of Diwali when no lights were there, and the only a transparent type of light from the matting came from their tenant's house, and it was a purple color. That is why purple haze, it's the story's name is also mentioned. Purple haze represents the poverty, the self dignity of those people. So all these things were there, and her I refused that. No, let it be like that. We are not able to purchase the clothes. So, but and she agreed that my mother could not purchase. She doesn't replied anything, and she didn't ask that further anymore that why are you not purchasing. So last paragraph of page number 24, from here I am going to read and explain that the whole of the story. We were preparing for the welcome ceremony. I was going to be the leader of the welcome group, so the teacher stopped pestering me. I was busy with her school. The inspection was to be held in her school too, so she was late every evening. When she came home, we exchanged notes, what her school was doing for their inspection and what we were doing for ours. So now the preparations were also started in her school for the welcome ceremony, and now her teacher, and she, because she was the leader of the group, so now her teacher stopped uh, pestering her that why are you not bringing, why are you not bringing. Again and again she stopped for that moment, because at that times preparations for the welcome ceremony was going on, and in her eyes, means her mother's school also, the inspection, the preparations were going on, and inspection was also to be held in her mother's school also. So every day when they both of them came back from their schools to their homes, they shared with one another what their schools were doing. The great day came. I had decided to get up before I have a bath and touch her feet. When I opened my eyes, I was ready to leave for work. No time even for a quick namaskar. Blessings can be taken once the work is done, she used to say. So she's saying the great day came, matlab, the welcome ceremony, that on that day, whichever day it was there, that day came, and she was getting ready, and her eye was also had to go to the school. So they didn't talk so many things, and she did a quick namaskar to her eye, and her eye said that you don't worry, you go to your work, blessings can be taken afterwards also. Then her eye went, and she is saying, I had my bath. The previous night I had put my one good yellow frock under my pillow for it to iron itself out. As I slipped it on, I heard that fatal sound, a rip. I was in tears, but I had no time. I looked for something old to wear. I rummaged through all the trunks. So after her eye went, she had her bath, and she had selected a dress earlier in the previous night, a yellow type, yellow colored frock, that tomorrow I will be wearing this type of frock. And when she was going to wear, while she was wearing that frock, tore up, and a sound of tearing that frock came, and she became very worried. Now she was looking in the almirah in her shelf, that any other good dress she may find and wear it quickly and go to the school. They were they were full of torn clothes, but I finally did see something that was still whole, a black blouse with a gold border. I was pleased. I looked over it carefully. It was absolutely all right except for the buttons. There was not a single button on the blouse. I put it on over the frock with the tear. Then I rushed to Dabholkar Kaki and asked her to stitch up the blouse in the front. In last, she found that there was a blouse of zari work, and but the buttons were not there. So she ran to her neighbor, whose name was Dabholkar Kaki, to stitch the buttons on that blouse. All this took a lot of time. I ran as fast as I could to school. So this process was very long, and then she ran away to the school. It seemed like it was the auspicious muhurt of a wedding. The school was all decked up. Mango leaves had been strung to decorate the main gate. The fragrance of agarbattis, supplied generously for the occasion, filled the classrooms. So agarbattis and mango leaves, all the things were decorated with the schools were decorated, and she went there. Place the plantain leaves for the food, Vasanti. In a state room, please. The headmistress did not say that, of course, but she might as well have. So she is thinking that there is plantain means banana. Banana leaves were there. That teachers might say me that place those in the row so that the guests should be served the snacks in that. So the class teacher spotted me in the hectic activity. Late again as usual, she said. She had no time to say anything else. The class teacher saw, and she remarked that late again as usual means when the school was going on you were late, and today in the uh, program also you are late. But she doesn't said anything else, only this thing. Kasturi, Pramodini, Prema, Shevanti, the whole lot gathered round me to admire my blouse. Means her whole of the friends uh, rounded her up, and they were just praising that your blouse is very good. Real Zari, Prema wanted to know as she felt the border. I was about to tell them the truth. She was thinking that I may tell her the truth that such and such condition are there. My frock was torn and I have worn it. Girls, for the welcome song, this way please. That was the headmistress' booming voice. I couldn't tell the whole truth about the blouse. The ceremony had started. I took up to a little to look at the inspectress. She looked quite happy, cheerful. Everything will be all right, I told myself. The welcome song got over. We dispersed into our classrooms. The inspection began. My class was the first target. Not just that. Needlework was the bullseye. Means all the programs went away in a nice way, and then the inspection started, and her class was the first target of the inspector. All the girls had displayed their needlework on their desk. All the girls except me, that is, I had nothing to display. Every girl displayed their work, but she had nothing to display because she didn't purchase the clothes. I could see 2 feet beneath the black border of a 9-yard sari. They were approaching my desk. My breath stuck in my throat. My eyes threatened to fill. What's your name? Stand up. The words were familiar, but the tone was different, unknown. So the inspector said, why are you not bringing? Stand up. But she realized that this is not my class teacher or principal voice, but this is the inspector's voice. What's your name? Achha. Vasanti Deshpande. I blurted out, standing up. Needlework? The question was familiar, not the voice that I asked it. Not the voice that asked it. I don't have any. I gestured, shaking my head. The inspectress asked, where is your needlework? She replied, I don't have any. And she shook her head. Why not? The question was again familiar. The voice remained estranged. No money, I answered, my voice just above a whisper. The inspectress is asking, why not? And she is replying, I have no money. And she spoke up in a very quiet voice, whispering voice. I marveled at my tears. The tears came out. They had not left my eyes. I was ashamed of myself. If only I could melt away like ice. She was thinking that I could melt away like an ice. These things were coming. Can't afford it. Can you? Can't afford plain cloth for needlework, but can afford blouses with zari borders. Huh? It was the same unfamiliar voice, rude now. Means unfamiliar voice means the voice which she was familiar with means her principal was there, and she is saying that you can wear a zari work blouse and you cannot purchase a cloth. My fear, my sense of shame, everything vanished. I looked straight into her eyes. When I spoke, it was my mother's voice that came out. Now her shame became vanished, washed out, and she spoke fearlessly like her mother used to say. you don't know what the zari border is hiding. She is saying you don't know na what the zari border blouse I am wearing, what it is hiding. I said, it is the purple haze. It is the purple haze. Purple haze means her poverty. Some children have lots of purple haze in their lives. Do you know that? How dare you make fun of it? Abruptly I stopped. She is saying to her teacher, how dare you make fun of my purple haze means my poverty, and walked out of the classroom. I ran all away the home and cried and cried. She ran away to her home and she was crying all the day. The whole afternoon was spent in cleaning the house. I collected some flowers in the evening. I spread a mat on the ground and sat down weaving the flowers into a veni. I was so deeply engrossed in it, and I did not see I and the visitor she had with her. She was now she was doing her household works, and she was doing, and her eye came with that inspectress in her house who was saying that why didn't you brought your clothes. I looked up instinctively. Instinctively, I stood up. It was the inspectress. She was staring hard at the zari border on my blouse, and then she spoke. So this is the house with the purple haze. She said slowly. So she said slowly, this is the house of purple haze. Means her eye has explained everything about the inspectress, and she was feeling guilty of that what she said to Vasanti, and she came to know about the problem of Vasanti. So this was the whole story, and exercises I will be sending in the video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.